Shana
Tova.
Shana. Happy New Year, everybody. Shana Tova, everybody. What are you doing? Welcome to another fun episode of Fun with Flags. Actually, the first ever live episode of Fun with Flags, because for scheduling reasons, we kind of had to push it back, and we're kind of about an hour or two removed from when the episode was supposed to drop anyway. So we figured, why not just do it live? Fuck it, we'll do it live
and see if we actually get somebody watching.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. How are you doing, my good soda man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. This is gonna be fun trying to do this live. But hey, let's do it.
All right. This is I think the first ever live episode that I've hosted.
This is it's been, besides like just other streams we've been on, this is the first time you and me have done a live show in a long time.
Yeah, since hold on. Yeah, this guy, who had he still been with us, would be celebrating this holiday with us, or rather these holidays, plural, because us Jews, we love multiple holidays.
Yep, so you love to celebrate.
Yeah, we love to celebrate being alive and not dead. So every time someone tries to kill us and fails, we make a holiday out of it. So right now we're just celebrating the one holiday of the year where we just we went through a whole year without dying. So congratulate us. Yeah, pat ourselves on the back. We're still here.
Before we start, because as you said, this is the Jewish New Year. Now, are there people in your country that actually celebrate New Year's on the same day that we do?
Yes, but it's not a religious thing. I mean, it's more of a formality thing.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, for the most part, people still use the Christian count, the AD, and BC, but obviously we have our own calendar. We have our own months, ways to measure the days of the year. But for the most part, for formality reasons, we mostly use your thing, the internationally accepted.
Okay.
And, so Rosh Hashanah is the first holiday we'll be talking about here. Rosh Hashanah basically means the head of the year. I think we talked about this during the letters, one of the letter ones we did. Rosh, meaning head. Shana means year. Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, the Jewish New Year. Now, this was originally celebrated on the 7th month of the year. That being probably should have done an episode about the Jewish months. Yeah,
that might have actually helped.
You know me, always doing things backwards. But so basically, it's supposed to be counting down from the month of Nisan, which is when Passover happens, where a lot of the early Jews consider the start of the year, the start of a new life, because that's really when the Exodus happened, where they left Egypt to start a brand new life. And then for some reason, through things I'm not smart enough to understand, they made the 7th month, which is the month Tishrei, the first month of the year, because that's when Rosh Hashanah happens. So they started counting from one month for a full year, and then they just changed the month they're counting from. It's very confusing, but
it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's the way we roll. So the month of Tishrei obviously brings with it the holiday known as Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and as you can see, we celebrate with the traditional food, the pomegranate.
No.
Well, what's the matter? What's
I'm,
wrong?
I'm just not a fan of pomegranates.
I like pomegranates. I mean, they can be sour at times, but after you get used to them, they can be really really
Okay, totally
fun.
fair. I totally fair.
All right, fine. So pomegranate, obviously, you eat the seeds naturally, not the fruit itself. But
Oh, really?
What?
Really?
Are you being serious right now?
I'm being serious. I did not know that.
So did you try to eat this thing, the reddish thing?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you don't like it. You're not supposed to eat this thing.
Good to know.
Hell, you're supposed to eat the seeds, man. What's wrong with you?
A lot of things, but that's not why we're here.
Okay, so one of these days you gotta try yourself a proper pomegranate, or rather, the seeds of the pomegranate.
Okay.
Like I actually found places where you can actually buy like sort of a cup with just the seeds in it. So you can try that, or I suppose maybe pomegranate juice, which of course is made from the seeds.
Yeah,
so
that I do not like.
Okay, so let me just try the seeds themselves.
Okay.
And see how it feels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually like it. I like the pomegranate. But yeah, it's the sort of the symbol of Rosh Hashanah, the symbol of the New Year, which of course the fruit itself blooms in the New Year, and the holiday itself. There are several traditions that you're supposed to celebrate during this time. That of course I personally don't, because I'm not a particularly religious. But it's basically it's where you leave off everything that happened last year behind and sort of open a new leaf with the start of a new year. It's sort of like a New Year's resolution. It's like what do you hope to do this year as opposed to last year? What are some of the things that you didn't like about yourself last year, and some of the things you want to change this year? And hold on, let me see if I turns out I did not upload it, or maybe I uploaded it and then StreamYard just deleted it. There it is. So during this time, it is also customary to go out and to go to a synagogue and listen to the horn. Are you familiar with? Do you know what this is? Right? It's a
ram's horn.
Yeah, it's a ram's horn, which is
cornucopia.
What?
I say cornucopia.
It's not specifically a cornucopia, but it's a horn that you used to blow out of, like a whistle of sorts, or like a trumpet of sorts. And this is what it sounds. Yeah, there are several kinds of blows that are meant to be blown at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which we will get to later in this video. But these are the sounds that basically the horn itself makes.
That sounds like an air horn or a hockey goal horn.
A what?
So whenever a goal is scored in hockey, there's a horn that goes off. That sounds like that, and it also sounds like an air horn.
Okay. Maybe that's
it's the same note.
Right. And also on this time of year, it is very common to bring together the 4 species. And hold on, let me just show you a picture right here. These are the 4 species of plants, to be specific.
Oh.
All right. So we have the etrog, lulav, hadas, and arava. No need to memorize the names because I actually did look up their proper English names. So let's start off with the etrog. Each one of these four species represents something that has to do with both taste and smell. Okay, so
Interesting.
the etrog, which is known as a citron fruit, a fruit from a
Oh,
citron tree, which is very similar to a lemon. It
yep, yep.
has it has both a great taste as well as a great smell.
Can't
This
say
is
I've tried it, but I know I have heard of it.
okay. This is obviously the most important one out of the four species. The next one is
Why is it the most important?
because it has both taste and smell.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said that all four of them were like that. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, all four of them represent taste and smell. The etrog or the citron has both taste and smell. The next one, the lulav, which is basically, for lack of a better word, it's like an unopened branch of a date tree or a
Interesting.
palm tree. Sorry, palm tree. Palm tree, which of course produces dates.
That's what a date looks like from it. What? Wow.
You never seen a palm tree?
I've never seen one like this. Clearly, I've seen a palm tree,
All right.
but I've never seen one that actually produces something like this.
Yeah. So these are what the dates look like when they're still on the tree.
So I have to assume that it's a date? Have you ever had a date?
Yeah.
You ever had a date?
Yeah, no, I know. I've had dates. I've just never seen where they came from. But that's actually pretty cool. I did not know that.
Okay. So you never knew that dates come from palm trees?
Nope. I never came across it. Never thought to look it up.
Never been much interested in trees, I suppose.
But oddly enough, now I want some fig Newtons.
Go get some after the show. So yeah, the branch of the palm tree, or the lulav, as it's more commonly known for the purposes of this holiday, has the taste of the dates, but it doesn't have a smell. Okay, and the next is, of course, the hadas, which is basically it's a myrtle plant.
Oh. Yeah.
Not this myrtle, this
Yeah.
myrtle right here. And the myrtle plant has smell, but it doesn't have taste. It's actually a very good smell if you ever smell the myrtle flower. And the last one, the arava, is essentially the branch and leaves of a willow tree.
Oh, cool.
Probably not this willow, though. Definitely not this willow right here. And the thing about the willow, the arava, is that it has neither taste nor smell. It's useless practically. It doesn't give off anything. It has no practical use. Now, at a guess, can you tell me why all four of these species are significant for their tastes and smell?
Probably because each one of them is strong in their category.
That's a good guess, but really the main symbolism here is that some people have this it's a metaphor for people. So some people have substance to them and some don't. Some people have faith and intelligence. Some people have only just faith. Some people only have the intelligence. Some people have neither, but all matter. All are important. We accept them all. Like even if you have no taste or smell, or even if you're the tastiest or the one with the best scent, we still all count as equals in this circle of the four species. That is basically the idea here.
I would not have gotten that.
You were pretty close. give yourself some credit. You were pretty close. So basically, according to the tradition, what you do with these 4 species is you gather them together, and then you just shake them. Shake them for the new year. Don't ask me why. That's just the tradition.
Y'all are weird.
Again, I don't do that. I don't celebrate it. I'm just telling you what it is.
Yikes. Okay.
Obviously, in addition to the pomegranate, it is also common to have an apple with honey or a honey apple.
I never got to try that.
So yeah, basically, you just take a random apple. It could be any type of apple. It could be a red apple, green apple, or whatever, and just slice it up into pieces like so, and just you either slather honey all over the individual pieces, or you take each individual piece and dip it in the bowl of honey that you see right here before you. Here's another example of. So
I'm gonna try that. I never tried the 2.
You never tried an apple with honey?
No, I've had caramel apples. I've had candy apples, but I've never tried an apple with honey.
Yeah. So I basically have one every year because I don't celebrate it, but I enjoy the food.
Naturally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're very George Costanza sometimes, my friend.
As a Jew, I shall take that as a compliment.
As a Jew?
Yeah, don't you know that George Costanza is basically Larry David?
Yeah, no, I know he's a Jew.
Who is Jewish? Larry David? I don't know.
Then you're welcome.
What?
Then you're welcome.
Thank you. Toda raba. So the apple with honey is basically just so you'll have a good year. So you'll have a very sweet rest of the year. To start the year very sweet, and so you know, and continue that sweetness all throughout the year to have a good year. And the last sort of tradition that I personally don't do, but it's part of the tradition of Rosh Hashanah, is you basically eat the head of a fish.
I'm out.
You don't even want to know why?
Nope. Well, yeah, tell me why, but I'm just saying that is a hard no on my part.
You see why I don't do that now?
Yeah, but why is it the head of a fish?
Yeah, I'm fine with the honey on the apples, just not the head of the fish. That's where I draw the line. And the reason here is, again, it's to wish you yourself a good year, to hopefully be a head and not a tail.
Interesting metaphor.
Yeah. I never really got it either. I mean, you hope to be the head of the fish, not the tail of the fish, or the back of the fish.
All are weird.
It's not us. That's just holidays in general. I mean, you guys go out and look for chocolate eggs left to you by a rabbit, for Christ's sake.
No, okay.
Don't go calling us weird, okay?
Touche.
You celebrate Jesus' birthday by letting some fat guy into your house through a fucking chimney, okay? So don't call us weird.
Touche, okay? Touche.
It's touche.
Woo, your mom's gonna love that.
Yeah. Sure wish she was watching right now. But anyways, that is it for Rosh Hashanah, which by the time, this doesn't work because we're doing it live, but as of the live recording of this video is tomorrow. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, I believe it's the only Jewish holiday that lasts for 3 days.
Are you? Do you have time off work for it?
On Sunday, because the freaking holiday came out on the weekend, so I didn't even get to enjoy time off from work.
So they don't give. Wow. So they don't give you another day off in lieu?
No.
You
just get the days off the holiday itself, which in this case, this year, it's just Sunday. Because the other 2 days are weekend anyway.
That blows because with us, if a holiday falls on one of our days off, they give us like the next work day off.
You guys are very lucky. I mean, I
That's
remember
how. Yeah, that's how I got through. That's how next weekend I get 2-3 day weekends in a row.
Why? Which holiday is that?
Well, next week it's not really a holiday in the sense of celebration. It's a National Truth and Reconciliation Day. It's a day of observance for all the atrocities that were done to Native American children in residential schools. It's a really serious thing up here. I believe it's the second year being a national mandatory holiday. This is the first year for my province. And then the weekend after that is our Thanksgiving.
All right, because you celebrate it in September, not November.
Yeah, because we actually do it for the harvest, unlike the Americans.
Cool. And I remember one year in high school where all the holidays came out on the weekend. So we basically got to enjoy none of it.
That sucks.
It sucked so bad. Thankfully, it didn't happen this year, but I mean, right now we are kind of suffering from it because of the way Rosh Hashanah ended up being. And at least we get the next holiday during weekdays, and the next holiday itself is Yom Kippur.
This is probably the most famous one.
Yeah. You're at least familiar with Yom Kippur. You know what that is, right?
No, well, not really. Like it's the one that I've heard of the most.
But what
One of
have
the
you?
ones I've heard of the most. Sorry,
The what?
it's one of the ones I've heard of the most, mostly because of people like Roxy Stryer and whatnot.
But what have you heard about it specifically?
That-
Whoa. We got a live person watching. Are you seeing that?
There it is.
They left. They left. That's why we're not interesting enough.
Honestly, I cannot say. I do not know.
It's basically a fast. It's a 24-hour, 25-ish hour fast.
Gotcha.
So basically, you start on Yom. It's kind of a 2-day thing, but because it's a 25-hour thing, so you start midday for the purposes of this year on Sunday, and it ends sort of early evening on Monday.
Is this one that do you observe this one?
I do not. I mean, I only fast if I've got a doctor's appointment the next day that I need to fast for. Okay? I'm not fasting for religious reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would be the same thing. I'd be like,
yeah, fuck off, religious people. But yeah, so there's what's called, and this is gonna sound weird to you, but there's what's called the Last Supper. Not the one you're probably thinking of.
what?
Yeah, the Last Supper is basically where you make all the necessary possible food you could make, and just eat as much as you can before the fast starts. Because after that, you're basically not gonna eat for a whole day after that. So you're gonna prepare yourself for a big, huge, gratifying meal to prepare yourself for the long fast that comes right after that.
The way you described it reminded me of an episode of The Big Bang Theory where Wallowitz's fridge died or something happened and they had to eat all the food.
No, his mother died.
Oh, it was that. Yeah, that's right. His mom died.
Was in the freezer.
Yeah, that's where my mind went. Was that the way you started describing it?
Basically, normally that's where in places that do celebrate it, that's where the best foods come out because it's all the food. It's an all you can eat essentially. Now,
yeah, that's one I would participate in.
Now, I think on 2 occasions when I was in my military service, I got to stay in the base for Yom Kippur, so I got to enjoy what is called the Last Supper before the fast, and it was a really, really fun time. It's like Normally, I'm gonna let you in a bit of a secret here. Normally, military food is kind of trash.
Not
But
surprised.
for the Yom Kippur's Last Supper, they really stepped it up a notch. So that's one of the ones where I actually wanted to stay in the base for the holiday.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
yeah. So
It'd be like wanting to stay behind at Hogwarts for a holiday.
yeah, pretty much. Except you got to do guard duty in the middle of all that.
Mm.
But so in the hours leading up to the start of the fast, which is known as the hours of the Last Supper, that is where all the best smells can be smelled from all houses around the area.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you smell all the best cooking, all the best meals being prepared. Everyone gets together and eat, sort of like preparing for hibernation, before the big long fast for the 2 days. And during the fast, what's normally common nowadays is nobody really stays at home. Everyone just goes outside, out in the street, and they just walk around and hang out on the road because no one's allowed to drive either. Like it's a full on, not just a fast, it's a full on shutdown. You're not supposed to work. You're not supposed to drive. You're not even allowed to turn on the light.
Wow.
So you have to keep the lights on for the entire 2 days. You're not even supposed to touch the light switch.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was in the military, one of my friends actually took it a step too far, and he actually took Scotch tape and put an X over the light switch so no one would touch it.
But
yeah, I mean, it's very common on Yom Kippur to see people walking around on the road where there are no cars. You get to walk around wherever you go, and that is really where people get out their skates, their rollerblades, bicycles, and they just go everywhere, talk to friends. It's commonly known as a very fun time. Like you just forget everything and walk around the streets. Now, what is the main reason for this big long fast? What is the other main thing that's associated with Yom Kippur?
I'm assuming you're probably giving thanks to something.
So close.
Ooh.
So close. That is where you ask forgiveness.
Gotcha.
For everything you did last year. You walk to every person everyone you know you've wronged or think you've wronged, and just ask forgiveness. You apologize for anything you might have done, that offended them without meaning to, or if you did mean to, just ask forgiveness for anything you might have done. It's not just a fast of the stomach. It's also it's a fast of the soul, a reboot of the soul. You're begging forgiveness from not just the people but also from God Himself. There's this really long journey of forgiveness that usually goes around in Jerusalem, around the Western Wall, where people just go out and ask forgiveness from God, and it's a really long, profound journey. There's even a song associated with it, saying. I'm going to try to translate it. It's going to sound bad probably, but this is the best I can do under the circumstances. The main chorus of the song is, we have sinned in front of you. Have mercy on us. Saying that to God, obviously.
Okay.
So you sing the song. There's you go to gatherings in big, large places. If you can't go to Jerusalem, to the Western Wall, you go to sports stadiums, football stadiums, real football, not American football. Concert halls, any place where there theaters, any place where there could be a large gathering of people, and everyone sings in unison the song of forgiveness, asking forgiveness from God. And of course, in the meantime, they ask forgiveness from each other. It is known as the time where even if someone you're having a fight with, and even someone you don't like, it's the one day where you get to walk up and say sorry, and just be a kind person to them, and just beg their forgiveness, and hope they forgive you, and hope that they beg forgiveness from you from anything they might have done. That is basically the two main points of Yom Kippur. So, how are we doing so far?
Pretty good. I'm actually learning. I'm learning something.
Hi, Super Nintendo Chalmers. I'm learning.
Jesus.
You should probably have that.
English.
What?
I said I got a C in English.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Yeah.
And
Hoover, I glued my head to my shoulder again.
what?
Miss Hoover, I glued my head to my shoulder again.
Oh. Miss Hoover, my worm went in my mouth and then I ate it. Can I have another? Good old Ralph Wiggum. So we're now leading up to the final holiday, and I'm gonna need to give my throat some rest and to drink my tea. And you tell me what you think of these last two holidays up until this point.
So yeah, no, like I said, I didn't really know anything going into it, but it's interesting to know what they involve. Yeah, like I didn't know one was fasting for 2 days. Didn't know anything about the Last Supper, but it's like I said when with the Big Bang Theory, I'm like, oh, that makes sense because he's Jewish. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm learning, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Forgot to mention the Yom Kippur fast was ordered to the Jews by Moses himself to sort of ask forgiveness for
Yeah, that makes sense.
for losing their faith while he was up on the mountain for was it 40 days? I can't even remember. I can't remember how long
It was over a month.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it always boggles my mind that after everything he did to get him out of there, they lost their faith all over again because the guy disappeared for a month. Whatever. It's a story. It's not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of Moses and the story of Exodus, I mean, we kind of started it off by saying that, by mentioning the month of Nisan, where it's supposed to start the count leading up to Rosh Hashanah. The last holiday we're talking about today is Sukkot. And do not ask me what that holiday's name is in English because I haven't the foggiest. But
what the hell?
What?
I said, what the hell?
What the hell in what way?
That image, like, what is it?
This?
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's a feast?
Kind of. It's what's known as a sukkah.
Okay.
Do you know what a sukkah is?
I feel like you might have told me before.
I don't remember doing something like that.
Then probably not, no.
Now, it's sort of like a hut that you make of your own. This is what a real one looks like.
Oh, cool.
You take a couple of boards and decorate it with the palm tree branches up on the top. It's not a real proper sukkah unless it's got the roof made of palm trees. And it's obviously the decorations. Here's another good look at one. It's a much more larger one, much more family oriented one, a much more religious oriented one. And basically what it is you build this tiny square hut, and you're basically supposed to eat there for a whole week. The holiday itself lasts for about a week, and by law, by the Jewish decree, all meals are to be had inside this little hut for the whole week.
Wow.
Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner are to be had in that hut, and it's mainly represented by the fact that when Moses led his people out of Egypt and they spent 40 years wandering in the desert, they didn't have the resources to build proper camps. They didn't have tents or proper housing. So what they did was that they built these tiny huts whenever they had to stop to take a rest and camp out, and they basically stayed there and ate all their foods inside. Every family, of course, had their own unique hut that was very specific to their family and were decorated with the family's ornaments. And that is basically meant to be the representation. Every family has their own sukkah in the holiday of Sukkot. And it's very customary to invite other guests to your sukkah, but also it's mainly supposed to be just the family itself. Like as a family unit, that is, again, a family gathering. There's time off from school for children, not so much for parents who are working, but the children get to enjoy coming back to the great family house and just enjoy eating all the meals inside this sukkah. Here's a much more open one. It's also a good way to camp out in parks. I mean, because again, it's a holiday in the biblical story. They did it because they had no choice, because they had nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
Over here, it's more of a tradition thing. So it's very customary to just build large ones at parks and whatnot, and invite whoever wants to come join in. There's you see the blanket with the pillows, so people can sit down and just have fun and enjoy the holiday itself, enjoy the time off. I do remember that again, going back to my military service, because you kind of have to celebrate these Jewish holidays whether you want to or not. So they built a sukkah outside the dining hall, or rather the mess hall at my base, and basically, like, you had to sit in the sukkah. You wouldn't be getting the food in your in the mess hall, which was kind of a weird thing. You have to go into the mess hall to get the food, and then go outside and sit in the sukkah.
Yeah. All I can see is a good thing you guys don't have bad weather.
Oh no! If if it's raining, you have full permission not to sit in the sukkah. You can
Makes totally fair.
But so long as there isn't bad weather, you're supposed to eat it in the sukkah.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not gonna do that.
No, but it sounds nice.
It does have a nice homely feel to it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy whenever I was invited to other sukkahs, but I'm not gonna build one myself. If I will be invited to, I wouldn't mind, but
Yeah.
it's not something I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's not something you're gonna go out of your way to take to bother to do.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to celebrate any of these holidays, like the fast. I'm not gonna eat the stupid fish head. I'm not gonna shake these stupid plants or whatever. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna enjoy the proper traditions, which is eating some pomegranate and the family barbecue, which are usually associated with the holiday of Rosh Hashanah. And that is basically it. So happy holiday for anyone celebrating. I don't really think there's much I can add on top of this.
No, it was like I said, it was interesting to learn. The last one, definitely never heard of, but at least with the other two, at least now I know what they are. Because, like I said, I'd only ever heard of them. So it's nice to actually have some context.
Yeah. Now, what will be your topic next week?
All right, so I've been thinking about this. So I keep getting a reminder of it every once in a while. So I decided I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go and talk about my favorite hockey game of all time.
Oh, good. Hockey again.
Fuck you. This is the gold medal game between Team Canada and Team USA from the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics, where Canada won gold medal for the first time in 50 years. And one of the things that it makes it my favorite hockey game is this takes place smack dab in the middle of my favorite era of being a hockey fan, from like 1999 to the start of the first lockout to 2004. and both teams were represented by like the biggest stars of that era. And this game was watched it in 2 different languages. So I watched it on my TV, and then I went with my dad to his cousin, so I listened to it on the radio in English. And then when I got to his cousin's place, I finished the game in French. But yeah, this is easily my favorite hockey game. I can't wait to discuss it. Plus, this is actually I actually talked about this a little bit when I did my Canadian currency, because this is where the kid that Lucky Looney comes from. And the journey to getting to the gold medal game for Team Canada is quite the story. There's a documentary on it that I'm going to rewatch for this. But yeah, no, I'm going to probably show a few clips, because there is one for sure. It is one of the most spectacular plays I've ever seen. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one for me. Like I said, my favorite hockey game of all time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time you could get some
clips. Yeah, I was
actually clips that we won't get in trouble for.
I think that we'll be okay with the clips for this. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to find some good ones, because like I said, there are some really good goals.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So plugs?
Yeah. So you can find me over at my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. I don't really post much. I'm more just, comment on shit. Other than that, you can find me here in the Northern Entertainment Group's, to my usual shenanigans with 50, and over on the Sodagon Wrestling Network, where me and my buddy, we post a live wrestling show whenever we all want to or can. So, all right, that's where you can find me.
Cool. And you can find me every Thursday on this show, Fun with Flex, with my good buddy Soda. Every Monday on my other show on this channel, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. And very soon, moving into this channel, me and our other good friend Frenchie are moving our Pokemon Fusion show to this channel very quickly. We basically just take 2 Pokemon and fuse them together to create an abomination, and the results are so fun. You got to check it out. And also you can check out all the other channels on the wider Benverse at large, like Something to Talk About, Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, Movie Lovers Unite, The Midnight Cinema, 8-Time Reviews, the aforementioned Northern Entertainment Group, which is this channel in the front row, which is not pictured on this thumbnail, and of course my channel, 50 Shades of Geek, where I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way to 2022, and I'm pretty sure I just started season 6, which is Patrick Troughton's final season, so go ahead and check that one out. And thankfully, episode 1 wasn't blocked or demonetized by the BBC, so that's already a good start for the year for me. So
very nice.
So thank you, Soda.
I do have one question. Do you do lost episodes, like ones where there's stuff that we know about?
I do all the episodes, including the missing ones.
Okay, I was actually just I was curious if you did those. Of
course. I mean, they are Doctor Who episodes after all.
Yeah, but just because you couldn't watch them or anything like that, that's what I was just wondering.
Who says I can't watch them? I watch the reconstructions.
Yeah, totally fair.
Yeah. See, this is what being a Doctor Who fan is. You watch the episodes, even the ones that don't exist.
Yeah, that does sound like a Whovian.
Anyway, so thank you very much for this show, Mr. Soda. Happy New Year, even though you don't really celebrate it. Shana Tova to you. And
Soda Tova to you.
And for Yom Kippur, sorry for all the shit I've been giving you all year, and will be giving you in the next year as well. But I only do that because I love you. And always remember, everybody watching this, we're doing this for the love of this guy in his loving honor and memory. And all we really ask of you is just to let your geek flag fly. That's all we're really here for. So thank you for watching if you have. And until the next year, everybody.
Shana Tova. Shana Tova. שנה טובה. שנה טובה. שנה טובה. שנה טובה.